What up? This is Rama Screen covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Lost in Space series. Let's rock this. First of all, just a heads up, this review contains spoilers, mainly because I will be recapping some of the details from some of the episodes in this season 1. So this review is mostly for those of you who have binge watched the entire show. So again, spoiler alert. Oh my god, where do I begin? Lost in Space blows my mind. This is one of the best sci-fi adventure series ever. It hooks you right from the start and you just don't want it to end. And the writers come up with all kinds of problems for the Robinson family. And each episode you wonder how on earth are they gonna get themselves out of this one this time. But they do. They just do. If there's ever a sci-fi narrative written story that champions math, science, and technology in the most engaging and entertaining way, this is it. Lost in Space is set about 30 years into the future where colonization in space is now a reality. The story focuses on the Robinson family, who is among those tested to make a new life for themselves in a better world, specifically Alpha Centauri. Starring Toby Stephens as John Robinson and Molly Parker as Maureen Robinson, the parents that struggle to keep their estranged relationship while keeping their family safe. Their children consist of the medically smart Judy, played by Taylor Russell, the sharp-witted Penny, played by Mina Sonwall, and the youngest, most curious of them all, Will Robinson, who strikes a friendship with an alien robot. Their colonization plan, however, goes off course, and now they must form alliances with the other Jupiter ships in order to survive the planet's dangerous environment. To be honest, I did not grow up watching the reruns of the 60s series, and I vaguely remember the movie version in the 90s. So I'm not gonna spend too much time making comparisons in this review. What I do know is that I really like how this reboot is non-procedural. As I said earlier, this show is all about solving problems, and who knew that solving problems could be this fun? Look, I grew up hating doing math problems. I hate solving equation problems, and whenever I hit the wall, I'd get frustrated. And so to watch the Robinsons manage to overcome those things, I mean, it never ceases to amaze me how the writers would bring the characters to the point where there seemed to be no way out or no solutions whatsoever, and then bam! One or two of them would take a step back, see the bigger picture, and then come up with a perhaps unorthodox but certainly effective idea. This show definitely has a potentially stronger effect to positively energize, excite, and challenge the minds of our youth today to think outside the box. I'd say it does a damn good job at it, better than PBS or Sesame Street ever could in the past 3 decades. Oh, the visual effects in Lost in Space are amazing! Even from the first episode, which by the way was directed by Neil Marshall, who gave us what I still think to this day is one of the greatest horror thrillers ever, The Descent. Lost in Space visual effects aims to not only be breathtaking and give you that immersive experience, but part of its goal is also to intensify some of the show's scary moments. But let me make it clear that they're not scary in a Freddy Krueger sense. The tone of the show still caters to family audiences. I think if it was a movie, it would be rated PG-13, and it doesn't talk down to them, it doesn't dumb down. It's as if it knows that its target audiences can handle it when danger threatens the characters. So the show is not afraid to push itself to that edge from time to time. At one point, it even pays homage to the Alien franchise when it comes to getting sucked out into space. Speaking of homage, what a wonderful cast, especially the young kid Max Jenkins who plays Will Robinson. Will's relationship with the alien robot, of course, reminds you of Steven Spielberg's timeless masterpiece, E.T. I mean, and you know, you can't say no to E.T. That kind of thing almost always lands. There will always be a room in us fans for friendship or characters bond that is reminiscent of E.T. Great performances by all the actors across the board, especially those who play the Robinson family. I love how the writers know the exact right moments to tackle some of the family dilemmas that need to be addressed between the characters, even in the midst of their trying to survive a certain situation. I mean, families talk things out, and the Robinsons are no different. And may I just say real quick that I think actress Parker Posey does a fantastic job as the villain. With her unflattering, goofy looking hair and her face that looks like she's always plotting something in her head, it doesn't get better than Parker Posey if you want someone to play a manipulative person. But even more than that, her character Dr. Smith represents that dark part of us that just looks out for number one, the fears that we feel when it comes down to the choice between us and them. As far as the planet goes, I think making it look exactly like Earth, complete with vegetation and similar terrains, is a bit too convenient. I mean, it would have provided a bigger challenge had the planet just been desolate, just like what Matt Damon had to struggle through in The Martian. Be that as it may, I understand that Lost in Space had to go there in order to introduce peculiar living creatures that can sort of play a factor in the entire elements that give the Robinson family a hard time. Incredible music score as well by the Emmy-nominated Christopher Leonards, who makes every episode sound grand and majestic, like it's accompanied by an impeccable Philharmonic orchestra. At times, it does sound like that music from those classic films from the golden age of Hollywood. Overall, I think Lost in Space is the best show that Netflix has produced lately. I mean, you know how Netflix busts out new movies and new shows every weekend. But this one right here, is a must see. It is not to be ignored nor overlooked. So if you can find 10 hours to spend just sitting through Lost in Space, I highly recommend you go do it because I guarantee you won't regret it. So that's it. That's my review of Lost in Space Season 1. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Share this video with all your friends on the YouTube verse. And as always, please subscribe to my channel. This video is made possible thanks to your support on Patreon. So go to patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Sign up there today and become my patrons. Let's rock this.